Today's daf is daf Yud. We are going to begin Iboy Lahu. Iboy Lahu, they asked the Shaila before the Chachamim. Now, we said since Bia is not a... We said about Bia that it's Kaina, so the question is, Tchilas Bia Kaina, you say Bia Kaina. Does the beginning of the Bia affect acquisition, or it's only the end of the Bia that affects the acquisition? In other words, what exactly is the moment of the Kiddushin? Where it says, the practical difference will be in the case where one had relations only in the initial stage of Bia with her, and in the meantime, she now is Makabal Kidushin from somebody else. So if the beginning of Bia affects Kinyan, Kidushin, so the other man's Kidushin is meaningless. If it's the end of the Bia that affects the Kidushin, so now who she Mikadeshes with the other man. Another difference would be the Kohen Gadol, the Koni Psula B'Bia. In regards to the Kohen Gadol who acquires a Psula through Bia. Now, if only the end of the Bia affects acquisition, she is no longer a Psula at the time of the Kiddushin, which would mean that a Kohen Gadol cannot acquire a woman through Bia. It's also for him to marry a Psula. So he answers that anyone who has relations has in mind the completion of the act of the relations at the beginning. Therefore, the acquisition is complete only when the act has been completed. Does Bia that is performed to affect Kiddushin affect marriage at the same time that affects Kiddushin, or does it affect only Kiddushin? Now, nafkamina, what will the practical difference be? Liyarsha, inheritance. So the practical difference comes up from this questions concerning the cases where it matters whether a woman is Kiddushin or married. For example, one issue is whether the act allows him to inherit property from her. If he is Mekadosh her through Bia, does he inherit her property when she dies, as he would if they were actually married? Or if a Kain, if he's a Kain, so does he have to be Mitama? Does he have to become Tamit or bury her? Or the offer in the Darel? Or another thing it would be if to be made for the Nadarim, to actually to nullify the vows, etc. So now that's the question of all these. That'll be enough community over here. So if you say that it's in the Suri that affects it, so Yersham Tam made for the Darel. So then he could be he Yarshins or Smatama, and he could be made for the Darel. But if you say that it affects only Kiddushin, and the Yersham and Matama live and he made for the Darel, that it comes out he does not inherit property from her. He has not become Matami impure to her, and he cannot nullify her vows alone. Okay, Amar Abai says, Toshma, come and hear the results, come and hear a resolution of the Mishnah. A father has authority over his daughter with regards to Kiddushin, whether it's through money, through document, or through Bia. Zakim Tziusa Maisiyada, like the father has the right to items such as she has found on her earnings and to affect the nullification of her vows. Makabel as Gita, and he can accept her get on behalf if she is divorced from Kiddushin before she becomes a grown woman, and does not enjoy the profits of her property during her lifetime. So although he inherits her property when she dies, he does not enjoy the profits of her property during her lifetime. Nisis, if the daughter married, Yosral of Abal Sha'echel Peres B'chayal. Now, if the daughter married, the husband has more rights and obligations than her father had before the marriage, and he enjoys the profits of her property during her lifetime. Now, Ketani Bia, Nisis. The Mishnah teaches that a man has the rights to his daughter's Kiddushin through Bia, and teaches that if the daughter married, which is mashma that Bia affects only Kiddushin. So it says no, Ketani Nisis she'oda. When it teaches about marriage, it's referring to other modes of marriage. Kiddushin by means of, let's say, money or documents. So in these cases, there's a difference between Kiddushin and marriage. When it's possible, it's possible that Kiddushin through Bia affects marriage as well. Omar Rabba says, Tashma, come and bring a raya from a brisa. A 3-year-old who's 3 years old on one day can be Mekadesh through Bia. And if the Yavam had relationships with her, he has acquired her. And if she's married, one is chayiv if they have relations with her due to the status of a married woman. And if she is tummy, in other words, she's anida, she renders one who has relations with her, impure for 7 days. The tami mishkov tachti ka'in, and he renders her impure, the objects upon which he lies like the upper one. Person who has relations with anida renders the objects upon which he lies tamei, even if he has no direct contact with them. Even this is the kain. If she marries a kain, a shelas b'truma, she can partake of truma. And bala echad mikol reisha b'teda, and if one of them with whom he had relations are forbidden by the teda, masana yoda, so he's put to death due to the sin with her. And she is putter because she's a katana. And bala echad min absalin, and if someone who's unfit, in other words, a man who had would disqualify her from marrying a kain if he had relations with her, so what do we see from here? Katani bia, katani nisus. It says bia and nisus separately. As the word says, this is what it means to say ahani. Nisuin, the kain, if the kiddushin through bia is a marriage to a kain, so she can partake of truma. It's possible that there are not two separate stages. There's a single action as bia affects marriage. So Shema come in here, bag 8 what do you say? I heard about you that you said that the daughter of a non-Kohen was Mekadesh to a Kohen may partake of Truma. You don't know this? So he says, so he answered back to him, he says, you don't say that? I know about you that you're an expert in many areas of Torah. Do you not know how to teach halachas based on the Kavachemer? He said, if by Shivcha Knanis, should be also Machilas with Truma, who's via with a Kain. It's not allowed her to partake of Truma, as she is not Mekudesh to him, Kodeshes to him. Now, Kaspa Machilas with Truma, but her money. In other words, if a Kain acquires her through money, allows her to take of Truma, Zu should be a Machilas with Truma, anything should Kaspa Machilas with Truma. So this doesn't make sense that this woman who's Mekudeshes through Bia with a Kain allows her to partake of Truma, that her Kidushin money from the Kain should allow her to partake of the Truma. What should I do? That the Chacham said that the daughter of a non-Kain, who's Mekudesh to a Mekudeshes to a Kain, may not partake of Truma until she enters the Chuppah. So it says, hey Shidam, what are the circumstances of the comparison between money and Bia? Even Bia Shaydei Chuppah, if it's referring to the case of Bia through Chuppah, because Shaydei Chuppah v'Travai Michla Achal. It's referring to the case of Bia by means of Chuppah, was after they are married. And Kedusha through money where their marriage is then completed by means of a Chuppah. In both cases, she may take of Truma. Even the Rabbanah, she's a full-fledged woman. V'ala rather referring to, but Bia Shaydei Chuppah, because Shaydei Chuppah, through Bia through Chuppah, and God Shaydei Chuppah. So he says, Halchitai Tevach Chachada. No. If so, the Kavachemer is not a valid one. As here in the case of Bia, there are 2 stages of acquisition. You have the Bia followed by the Chuppah, and here in the case of the money, there's only 1 stage. The Chuppah, rather, you must say it's Bia Shlei Chuppah because it's Shlei Chuppah. So the Iyamr is Bishtai Ministry, if you say that it's the ministry that makes the effect, that's why it was partial to the Bidum that the mode of Bia is stronger than money and allows her to partake of Truma. Iyamr is Kedusha Isa, but if you say that it's the Kedusha that makes it, so what is the difference here in the case of Kedusha through Bia, that it's obvious to him that allows him to partake of Truma? What is the difference here in the case of Kedusha through money, that it's a suffix? Members, I can tell you that Bia Shaydei Chuppah, Gad Shaydei Chuppah, Tamar Sachidat Tevachad, this is Kavachemer Mi, so there's still Kavachemer. This is what Rabbi Yudam sent to him. Ma Shivcha Knanis, if by Shivcha Knanis Shem Biyasa Machilasa B'Truma Filei Dei Chuppah. whose bia with a kain does not allow her to partake of truma even by means of a chuppah. Kaspa mechilasa b'lei chuppah, even by but nevertheless her money allows her to partake of truma. So zu should be also mechilasa b'truma idei chuppah. So this person who has bia with a kain allows her to partake of truma by means of a chuppah. Does not make sense that the kain should allow her to partake of truma without the means of a chuppah. What should I do? That the Chachamim said that you're not allowed to partake of truma until she enters the chuppah, due to the reason that according to Ula, there is a concern that she may feed her siblings or members of her family truma while she's still living in her father's house. Whereas this is Ben Bagbag, and Ben Bagbag says why one cannot accept this Kavachemer. He says Gabashif Lakanas Lishiar Bikin Yona. By the Shifcha Kananis was purchased with money, the buyer does not leave out anything with her. In other words, he completely purchases it. Hacha, here in the case of the Kidushin, Shar Bikinyana, he leaves out part of her acquisition. Ravina says, Midei Raisa, Mishap Shitali Dochle, it's obvious that she might take of Truma, but they don't know the Shalach lands, and the question is according to Rabbi and this is what the question was. I heard that you say that in practice the daughter of a non-Kohen, Mukudish to a Kohen, may partake of Truma. You're not concerned about a annulling factor, that he might find some blemish in her through which the Kidushin would be considered retroactively puzzle. If so, she would have eaten Truma when she was not permitted to do so. And with regard to this issue, the Yehudim said to him, and he says, you don't hold this. Now, Umashiv if a Kanani woman who's having bia with a kohen does not allow her to partake of truma, and yet receiving purchase money allows her to partake of truma, and we're not concerned about that the Kanani may have some physical blemish that nullifies the purchase retroactively. So not logical with regard to the Kidushin whose bia with a priest with a kohen allows her to partake of truma, that Kidushin money from the kohen should allow her to partake of the truma, and we should not be concerned with simfin. What should I do? The Chacham said the daughter of a non-kohen did not partake of truma. Until she had the chuppah, because of Allah.